Hi guys, this is Wenzes from Below the Radar Above the System, and today's topic is how to deal with ISTJs if you're an INFJ. And different than ESTJ, with ISTJ there's a much higher chance that you have a positive relationship with them, because as they are not judgers, it takes a lot of the pressure out of our relationship. And it's not like ESTJs are considered like the worst possible relationship basis. For INFJs. With ISTJs, it's not the same. One of my best friends is actually an ISTJ, but we formed our relationship rather late in our life. It took me a while to be really comfortable with who I am, and I guess the same thing goes for her. There was always a mutual respect there, but now I'm much more open to show her sides of me that I thought in the beginning she would judge. And this is very refreshing and very it calms one down, because the thing is, I keep a lot of my real values to myself, as a lot of INFJs do. May it be just how blunt I can be, may it be my music, may it be my actual power lust, as in that there's like some kind of aggressive side to me, that the inner ESTP in me that I didn't want to show to her. And now I'm much more comfortable with this, because I know who I am, I know how far I can go, and if there's something she's not gonna like, then she's not gonna like, but either then she'll decide she'll hang out with me anyways or not. And you always have to keep this in mind. You accept so many things about others that you don't find perfect, but you still like those people, and you should expect the same thing in return. With ISTJs, they're also the carefree type. I've talked about it in the ISFJ video and a lot of videos. This carefree type versus farsighted type is very it can be conflicting, but it doesn't have to be if you address it the correct way. So just don't take everything they say at face value, as in they react when you say something and they get offended, which I personally haven't seen with ISTJs, but with other personality types, they get offended or they react like really harsh towards something you do. Don't get discouraged by it and think like, oh, if I really show them who I am, if I really like push harder, then they're gonna hate me. It's the opposite. It's actually the opposite way. They react really quickly, but then they calm down. So you do something really that you think would upset you so much if somebody did it towards you. Others are not, with carefree types, are not gonna take that big of a deal about it. They're gonna take it in, they're gonna get really upset, and then they're gonna let it go. So always, like with carefree types, try to be like a little more, try to push the boundaries, as in how far you can go without really having a confrontation, or not even a confrontation, but something that's going to jeopardize the relationship. And when I say go far, I mean putting more of yourself into the relationship, instead of having them like say the topics you talk about, the places you go, and so on. They're, especially with carefree types, who are also obstinate, which is also the case with ISTJs, meaning their interests are the most important thing to them. If for yielding types, as in us, it says our resources are something we're not gonna be willing to share right away. If we have established something, if we have gained some kind of things that are ours, we're not really willing to give that up because we worked for it. For the ISTJ and the obstinate types, it's about this is my interest, and I'm not gonna give up on that interest. That doesn't mean that we're gonna do what I want, but you're not gonna change my mind as in what I want. So if the ISTJ really wants to go, I don't know, they want to go and do a triathlon. You know, ISTJs can be very, very sporty, sort of like ESTPs, but just more focused on themselves and not so much on their surrounding. And you say, oh, I'd rather do this, I'm not going to do this. they still gonna want to do it, and they're probably gonna want to do it by themselves. But you shouldn't take this as a criticism towards yourself. Just make sure that you work more for your interests. I know we don't care so much about our interests, as in, like, I don't really care what kind of movie we're gonna watch. Yeah, I might care, but it's never gonna be as much as somebody who's like an obstinate type. But just keep that in mind, and next time you want to go see a movie, or you want to go pick a restaurant or something, just make it a point to really see, oh, okay, I like this one better than the other one, not much, like I wouldn't really care. Still make it a point to like really go to places where you rather want to go, or at least make it a statement. ISTJs will respect you for it, and you'll see how it helps you. It helps you to find yourself. It helps you to really form an opinion of what you like and what you don't like. We need that. We who have a TI as our third function, which is rather low, we need certain people who tell us, who ask us questions, as in finding out what we want, or much better than really people asking us questions is us forming an opinion and really putting it through, although we think we don't care that much. But once we do those things, those little things that we think don't matter that much, you'll see how much better you feel. And with ISTJs, you can have a great relationship because they're so different than you, and you can still create a respectful, trusting, and loving relationship. I know there are a lot of people who have trouble with ISTJs, so I can only speak from my experience, and I don't have ISTJs in my family. I can imagine if you have an ISTJ father or mother or whatever it is, it can be a lot more difficult, because there are also other dynamics that come into place where a certain respect is required from you. This is of course something that makes it difficult, but I can just give you a little groundwork that can help your relationship, and then just make it a little better and more trusting. They're also they're constructivist. We're emotivist, which means that they don't like to talk about emotions that much. It confuses them, and it's nice if you kind of like back off of that. It's see, they have the feeling function at their third, and they have their thinking function at their second. So the best way to have a relationship with them is just kind of find a balance between those two. It's not that much different than it is with ESTPs. With ESTPs, who have also thinking at second and feeling at third, if you talk to them, then whatever you say is really accepting to them. If you like put out some kind of FE motion, the ESTP is really gonna accept that, is really gonna see that and really feel what you're trying to convey. With ISTJs, it's different. Nonetheless, the effect you have through the TIFE component is the same. So I've made the conclusion, or I've had the experience, that if you try to like just back off a little bit of your will, or your your pursuit to convey an emotional atmosphere, it makes the whole situation a lot better. Try to rather like push them or encourage them to open up, as in how they emotionally feel about something, but don't try to like be all emotionally in your face and showing that much appreciation or love. So I have, as I said, my ISTJ friend, and I really like her a lot, but I've realized that it's rather good not to push too much of my my lovey-dovey things on her, because it does make her uncomfortable. On the same time, I try to be more about my TI values, as in I make sure to point out, as I said, what kind of movies I like, where I want to go, what kind of opinions I have made, and really put that up a little bit, and the feeling down. You kind of take control of the situation that way, but you're not neglecting yourself, and it helps them to also have like a closer bonding, because we are really good at those things. in comparison to other types. So we can really be the ones who form that harmonious or that just interpersonal relationship. The thing about this is they have as their third function FI, which is combined with their hidden agenda, which is to love. The problem is they have all those emotions, those FI emotions, and it's really difficult for them to put them into a box or into like some kind of like circle, whatever it is, so they know who they are. They have, as I said, they have their feelings here, they have feelings there, and their main hidden agenda is to have some kind of form, to really know who they are, to know what they can really cherish. And you can have an analogy here with our TI. We want to understand so much, and we understand so many things from different perspectives, but what is difficult for us is to form a value of this is who we are, and we're not gonna cross that bound. We're not gonna go somewhere else. This is, really form ourselves. And this difficulty that we have is also the difficulty the ISTJ has with their FI. So when you go there and you really push them a lot with FE, emotional vibes come to them, and it can make them uncomfortable because they don't know how to deal with them or how to judge them. And what I'm saying is don't try to pretend to be somebody else, but sometimes we want to be extra nice and extra emotional because we like that feeling. We like that feeling we evoke in others. We like that feeling that evokes in us. But with ISTJs, it's best to just try to be as honest as possible and just don't push that too much. And that's why I think there's a great chance to have a wonderful relationship with ISTJs if it's not that close as in family. I have not had the experience with that. I've heard and read from other INFJs that they have had difficulties with ISTJ parents because they of course have some kind of expectations of you. This is of course something everyone has to deal with personally, as I have to deal with my ENTP father, and I have created a relationship now that we're both adults that is not that close because I don't want this fatherly protective nature from him, that I've learned how to find a balance where I can just take the positive aspects of it, and the things that are not good for me I just keep myself out of it. And that's, I think, the same thing you have to do with your ISTJ parents. But if you follow those little hints and just try to balance the TF world out, it can be of great benefit. So if you have any questions or comments, just state them below. Talk to you soon. Bye.